when I'm looking at a proposition that the developer would come to me with and they need some funding, the big things that we look at are their experience and the team that they're putting around them. And more often than not, one of the things that they overlook and they don't see the relevance or the importance of is that the sort of the construction team and the project manager, because lenders very much like to see that they want to de-risk themselves, and they do that by lending to people with the experience of being able to show that they've done similar projects before. Often this seems the issues here seem to occur when I've got somebody who is going from maybe to doing some relatively small development work. It might be single unit, it might be converting a house to 3 flats or 4 flats or something like that, to taking it to that kind of next level where there's the project just grows from that to something just a little bit bigger. And we've been talking off air about the importance of that project manager. And certainly I can see that. From your perspective, have you kind of encountered that kind of issue before, where you've got, I suppose you're having to come in and do that sort of job, manage a project for maybe somebody that hasn't got all that much experience, and how have you sort of dealt with that?
Yeah, I mean, there's we've managed projects from there, like the likes of a lot of office to resi stuff, which is anywhere from sort of 3 units to sort of 12, 15 units and upwards. Actually, we do a lot of commercial PM, and also the smaller scale sort of resi stuff, which is house converted into flats or small scale new builds. A lot of the time people don't realise that although it seems quite straightforward to take that wall out, build a wall there, and convert a house into, say, 3 flats. There's a lot of statutory requirements as well. So you've got to think about building control. You've got to think about utilities, how you're getting utilities in. Have you built them into your program? Have you built them into your cash flow, etc., etc. So, and a lot of people think that small scale size is, they probably don't want to build that 20 grand in, 15 grand in for a PM, because they see that as their bottom line, and that goes in their pocket. But they don't appreciate that could then save them a month, 6 weeks, or your PM might be able to come up with a different way it's programmed, or different use of materials, value engineer the scheme, or add value, really. So that's the key point, really, is that that 15, 20 grand usually isn't wasted. And also it's the opportunity cost as well. If you're a busy developer doing housing, doing smaller schemes like that, do you want to be bogged down in ringing up SSC or ringing up Virgin Media trying to get them in when someone else can do that, and you can be looking at other sites or finding other opportunities? And the role obviously adapts per client and per their experience and per their requirements. So where we would potentially come on as a project manager to give them experience in the lender's eyes, we don't have to be the full PM role. We can be like a monitoring role, where we just do, we're like a support role. So we're on the end of the phone. Any issues, we assist with the program, the budget, the initial design stage, and then we can just provide sort of support throughout the construction if it is a straightforward construction. Because if you've got your ducks in a row at the start, there shouldn't really be a need on that sort of scale project to be on site weekly, G'ing up the builder, really.
Yeah, I talk about. Well, I think especially we were talking about kind of working remotely and all this kind of stuff before, and I suppose it ties into that a little bit, that a lot of people thinking about their businesses and what they can do, and this all ties into, I think, like the outsourcing part of this, in that, as a developer, as someone that wants to get into property or wants to grow a business within property, I fully endorse people to try things. You look at all the different jobs that a developer could do, from initially doing a viewing on a site all the way through to completing it and figuring out how they're going to sell it on the back end with maybe some kind of contract with an agent, or selling the site to a pension fund or whatever it might be. All those different jobs in the middle, they should have a true understanding of those. But what you hit on there, which I think is absolutely right, is they then need to start focusing on actually what I would call their income generating tasks. What are the things on a daily basis that are going to lead to them being more successful in their business? And the one thing I picked up on there was, how do they really need to be calling Virgin Media? Do they really be needing to do these tiny little jobs? And that's no is the answer. And I think they're the little things that a lot of developers maybe miss out on, is that for every task that someone else is doing, it actually allows you the time to be doing something that's going to actually increase your business. And you can focus on the 7 or 8 jobs within the 30, 40 jobs that needs to be done to be a developer, that actually you're good at, you enjoy, and you know that you can add value and actually build your business forward. So I suppose from that perspective, that makes what you're saying kind of just, for me, it's a no-brainer to have someone like yourself on board.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's like the same in our business. I mean, I'm not that IT savvy, so I employ someone to manage the IT systems and be our IT support. And same with recruitment. I mean, we would just use someone else, a freelancer, to recruit. So I'm not involved with those parts of the business which help me build my business, but obviously I outsource them to experts who obviously charge. And it's the same. It's exactly the same scenario that you're talking about, isn't it? Really, that it's they have to the sort of SME developers need to see the value in having someone there that can save them a lot of time and pain, as well as helping them secure the funding at the outset.